I've never really tried making a video with the iPad before, so this is a good opportunity. It's brew day, Sunday morning, and this is the setup I have in my garage. There you see the 30-liter pot I use as a hot liquor tank with a March pump to circulate. There's the March pump, and here's a where is it? There it is. That's a Thermo-K thermocouple type thermometer I use. And that's, I think it's maybe 48 liters. Could be more than that, I'm not sure. And that's what I use for my boil kettle. Moving inside the garage, I'm just setting up to mill the grain. I've got about 13.5 pounds of grain to mill this morning. I'm making a double chocolate stout. This is what the grain looks like before it's milled. There's, I think, 5 different types of grain that I'm using in this recipe. The mash has been going for 60 minutes now and should be ready. I have to do what they call an iodine test to see if it's fully converted the starches to sugars. I'll do that now. I've done the iodine test. What we do is add a few drops of iodine to some of the wort. If it turns black, that means the starches are not all converted. If it stays the same color as this has done, it means the mash is complete. I'm now going to do the Vorlauf. What I have to do is pour some of the wort into this container and let it pour out until it runs clear. In other words, no more particles of grain. I then take it and I pour it back into the top, recirculate it, and set the grain bed. So here we go. Boy, that's going to be pretty dark beer. I'll do this maybe 2 or 3 times and pour about 3 liters out each time. Okay, now we pour it back in the top through the strainer. Vorlauf is finished and everything went fine, so I'm now going to transfer the wort from the mash tun through the pump and into the brew kettle. Hopefully this will work okay. Yeah, there it goes. I've pumped out what they call the first runnings from the mash tun into the brew kettle, and I got about 15 liters or so. So then I had to heat up another supply of hot water to about 170 degrees. This is what we call the sparge water, and I have now added that to the mash kettle, and it'll sit there for 30 minutes to rinse out any remaining sugars from the grist. And then I'll repeat the Vorlauf procedure and pump that into the brew kettle, and I should get around 30 plus liters total. Okay, I've completed the sparge now, and I did a Vorlauf with it, similar to what I showed previously. I've got about 35 liters in the boil kettle, and I've just started the flame now. The boil has been going for a few minutes now, and I've added the first edition of hops for bittering. You can see on the right hand side of the brew kettle a stainless steel mesh basket, and I put the hop pellets in there so that the debris stays separate from the boil. Everything went fine with the boil, and so now I'm transferring the wort from the boil kettle to the 6.5 gallon carboy. I hit all my numbers correctly so far. I got a specific gravity of 1.062, which is just about what I was hoping for, and I got the correct volume of wort. So the beer is transferred to the carboy now, and just about to go into the fermentation chamber. I'm going to be using a liquid yeast that I harvested from my last beer. This is about a 1.9 liter starter. I'll be pouring off all the liquid on top, or most of it, then stirring up the yeast on the bottom and pitching that into the carboy. Well, that's pretty well everything for brew day, so we'll let things get fermenting and check back a little later.